Hi, this is Cassidy Smith. This is the assignment 4.1, Emulating a Pro. The pro that I chose to emulate is Michael David Adams. He is a well-known pro photographer that works out of New York City, and he has worked for multiple very well-known magazine companies. One of the magazines that he works for regularly is Harper's Bazaar. He's very inspirational to me because when I look at his photos, it's hard to pick just one. Each photo is very well thought out from a designer's point of view, and then from a viewer's point of view, it just looks very natural and like he's taking pictures of people and things just in real time. When I chose the picture that I wanted to emulate, I had things that I thought about the image. My perception was luxury, romance, and femininity. That's when I came up with the concept that I wanted to use downtown Birmingham, where I live. Wanted to use that area to signify the romance part of the perception, and I wanted to make sure that my model looked very clean cut yet luxurious. I started looking at Google Maps on Street View, and I did some research about things that are historic in downtown Birmingham. One of the places that I found is the old historic Alabama Theater on 3rd Avenue. And to me, theater is very romantic. And when this theater was thriving, it would have been very luxurious and marketed to high class people. So that's where I came up with the concept, and I created a sketch to show how I wanted my model to be facing, what I wanted her to look like, where the light would come from, what I wanted to be in the foreground and the background. I included lots of detail in this sketch so that way it would be easy to create the shot diary. So the next thing I did was create the shot diary, and in the shot diary I made sure to include all of the details that I would need on my photo shoot. If I needed to reference back to the shot diary, I would be able to do that, because it's hard to remember all the things that you have to do in a photo shoot or any type of design that you're creating, because there's so much that goes into it. In my shot diary, I included the settings that I plan to have my camera on for each shot, and I preset my camera to those settings when I got ready to take a shot based on the location, and then I took shots from multiple different angles. When I started taking the shots, I made sure to include multiple images of the exact same location, the exact same position, the same angle, so that way I would have a good gallery to choose from. After I was able to look through the gallery and Adobe Bridge and decide what I thought was good enough to use in the project and what I thought just did not make the cut, it was easy for me to decide what images I actually wanted to use in my composite. So then I started the process. The way that I did this is I took the raw images, first of the model and then of the landscape. I edited them in Adobe Camera Raw, and I used the adjustment brush to make local tonal changes to certain parts of the model's face and arms. Then I took the photo into Photoshop, and I used many different tools in order to create cosmetic touch-ups. And one of the things that I did is there was a strap from the dress that you could see below the model's arm, and I completely removed that in Photoshop. I highlighted different things. I made shadows darker or louder. I made the highlights darker or lighter. I made sure that the face and the arms were not too orange, and there was a lot of trial and error in this process. And then I created a layer mask, which I refined with the brush tool, and I used a lot of the different settings in the refine edges settings to make sure that I got the hair and the arms, and I had to do a lot of painting back and forth what I wanted to include in the final composite versus what I thought looked good and what I thought was vital to the composite. Then I added adjustment layers to the Photoshop composite with the landscape in the background, and by doing that, it adjusted the entire it adjusted the entire image, because when you add adjustment layers, it has an effect over the entire image, not just the cutout of the model, not just the background. I went through multiple different blending modes to see what looked the best, and then I played with it for a while. Then once I was satisfied with what I'd created, I deleted it and started the whole process again. So from that point, I came to a stopping point. I thought it looked good. I was happy with the results, and I was confident in what I had accomplished. So this is my final. It's called Luxurious Romance on 3rd Avenue. I learned a lot of things during this assignment, and one of the things that I learned most deeply is how important time management and planning is. It's very vital to any project that you execute or any job that you execute, because without planning, you spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's going to work best, whereas when you have a plan, it's easy to be proactive. One thing that I would really like to explore more is the tools that are available in Photoshop that are preset tools. The preset tools are hidden all over Photoshop, and most beginners aren't aware of those. I'm one of the beginners that isn't aware of all of the preset Photoshop tools, and I would like to learn how to use those to my advantage. Another thing I would really like to learn more about is how to use and create a dynamic layer mask to enhance whatever I'm trying to accomplish. So this is the end of this class and this project, and I had a really good time. And that's it. Thank you.